Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something straight from the heart. When a man loves a woman, really loves her, he doesn't always know what to do with that kind of feeling. See, men are wired differently. We don't always talk about how we feel. We don't always show it in the ways you expect. And sometimes when we fall deeper in love, it can actually look like we're pulling away. But let me tell you this, he's not ignoring you, baby, he's falling deeper in love. When a man starts falling deeply in love, he becomes more silent, not distant. See, that silence confuses a lot of women. They think, he used to call me all the time. He used to text me good morning and good night. Now he's quiet. Did something change? But what's really happening is something is changing, but not in the way you fear. When a man's heart starts opening, he starts to retreat into his thoughts. It's not rejection, it's reflection. He's trying to make sense of what's happening to him because love, real love, shakes a man at his core. Men are not as emotionally fluent as women. Women can feel something and express it instantly. They'll tell you what's on their heart, cry it out, talk it out, and move forward. Men, we go inward. When a man starts feeling something powerful, something real, it's almost like his system has to reboot. He's trying to process this emotion that's new to him, this level of connection that's foreign. He starts asking himself questions he's never asked before. Is she the one? Can I handle this? Can I give her what she deserves? Those questions don't get answered overnight. So he becomes quiet, thoughtful, sometimes even awkward, not because he's lost interest, but because he's trying to understand his interest. That's the tricky part about men. Our silence doesn't always mean distance. Sometimes it's the loudest sign of our love. A man in love is thinking about his future, not just his feelings. When he's quiet, he's not ignoring you. He's thinking about how to build with you. He's looking at his own life, his finances, his priorities, his purpose, and he's wondering how to make you part of it all. Love makes him reflect on what kind of man he wants to be. It makes him want to do better, be stronger, stand taller, and that kind of growth takes a moment of pause. But from the outside, that pause looks like pulling away, and that's when women panic, start overthinking, start feeling unwanted. But if you look closely, his silence isn't cold. He still shows up in little ways. He checks if you're okay. He remembers what you like. He stays consistent even when he's quiet. That's because his love isn't fading, it's deepening. He's starting to feel something beyond attraction, beyond excitement. It's commitment forming slowly but surely in his spirit. When a man loves deeply, his energy shifts. He's not trying to impress you anymore. He's trying to keep you. That's when his focus moves from talking to thinking, from showing off to showing up. That's when he starts protecting your peace, even if it means saying less. So when you notice that silence, don't rush to fill it. Let him breathe in it. That quiet space is where his love matures. It's where his heart steadies itself to handle what's coming next. Because every man, before he says, I love you, has to feel safe enough to mean it. And that safety is built in silence, when he's not ignoring you, but falling deeper, stronger, and more completely in love with you than he even realizes. His quiet moments are often filled with deep thoughts about the woman he loves. When a man begins to truly care for a woman, his silence becomes less about distance and more about depth. He's not zoning out or losing interest. He's thinking, evaluating, and imagining a future that includes her. Love triggers a different side of a man's mind. He starts to visualize her not just as someone he dates, but someone he builds with. He might be quiet while sitting beside her, not because he has nothing to say, but because he's lost in thoughts of how to keep her, how to protect her, how to make her happy in ways that last. A man's quiet is often misunderstood. Women who are naturally expressive see silence as withdrawal, but for a man in love, silence is sacred. It's where he sorts out the emotions he doesn't know how to put into words. He starts to see moments differently. The way she laughs, the way she listens, the way she supports him. All those small details start meaning something bigger. He replays those moments in his mind and realizes how much she's changed his world. That's when he starts thinking not just about who she is, but about who he wants to become because of her. Men are dreamers, but they dream differently. When a man falls in love, he doesn't just dream of romance, he dreams of responsibility. He wonders what kind of future he can build with her. His silence holds the sound of those unspoken thoughts. The ideas of a home, a life, a partnership that he's still trying to figure out how to create. Sometimes he's quiet because he's counting his steps, making sure he doesn't mess up something this meaningful. He's aware that love is no small thing, and he doesn't want to treat it lightly. So, instead of speaking too soon, he observes, learns, and listens. You might notice him stare at you sometimes, lost in thought. That's not him drifting away. That's him studying the feeling. He's realizing you're not just someone he enjoys spending time with. You're someone he can't stop thinking about. His heart and his mind are having a conversation, and he's trying to make sense of it all. A man's love doesn't rush forward with words. It builds quietly through thought. And those quiet moments you might see as emptiness are actually him filling his heart with clarity. When he's quiet, he's not ignoring you. He's thinking about how to love you right. He's thinking about how to be better, how to grow, how to match the energy you bring into his life. He's thinking about the kind of man he needs to become to deserve you. That's the power of love. It doesn't just make a man feel, it makes him think deeply, dream carefully, and move intentionally. So the next time your man sits in silence, don't fear it. That silence is full of you, your name, your smile, your future together echoing softly in his mind. Men process emotions through action and reflection, not always words. This is one of the biggest differences between men and women when it comes to love. Women often need to talk through their emotions to understand them, while men need to think, act, and sometimes even withdraw to make sense of what they feel. When a man is falling deeply in love, his instinct isn't to say, everything he's feeling. It's to do something about it. He might fix something for you, plan something quietly, or start making little sacrifices that show you he cares. Those actions, though small, are his language of love. He's not saying, I love you every minute, but he's showing it in the way he pays attention, supports you, and puts your happiness above his comfort. A man's reflection happens in silence. He'll replay conversations in his mind, think about what you said, and analyze how he can respond better next time. You may think he's distant or disinterested, but he's actually processing the relationship, figuring out how to make it stronger. Men aren't emotionally numb. They're emotionally private. They need time to understand what they feel before they can express it. And when that love starts to grow deeper, that process gets even slower and more deliberate. It's not hesitation, it's care. Because when a man finally says how he feels, he wants to mean every word. That's why you'll often see a man doing things for you instead of saying things to you. He'll make sure you're safe, that you're comfortable, that you're okay. He'll try to solve your problems because in his mind, that's how love works. It protects, it provides, it takes action. When he holds you close without speaking, when he remembers the little things you mention, when he goes out of his way to make your day easier, those are his love notes written through action. His reflection fuels his movement. Every quiet moment leads to a decision to show love in a way that speaks louder than words ever could. But sometimes that silence can feel confusing. You might wonder why he doesn't open up more, why he doesn't talk about his feelings as freely as you do. What you have to understand is that for most men, emotions are not always spoken, they're lived. They're built into the way he treats you, the way he looks at you, the way he tries to make your life better. His reflection isn't emotional distance, it's emotional depth. It's him trying to understand how to love you without losing himself. So when you see a man acting more than speaking, don't mistake it for emptiness. That's how he processes love, through movement, through effort, through quiet intention. He's thinking, learning, and building a way to express something that words might never fully capture. His silence isn't a lack of emotion, it's the birthplace of it. Every action he takes, every thoughtful pause, is his heart translating love into a language only he can speak, but one you can always feel. Love makes men protective, thoughtful, and sometimes unsure how to express it. When a man begins to truly love a woman, something deep inside him awakens, a natural instinct to protect her, to make her feel safe, to make sure nothing and no one ever hurts her. It's not about control, it's about care. His heart becomes tied to her peace. He starts noticing the little things that might stress her out, the people who might take advantage of her kindness, and the moments when she's too tired to say she needs help. Without saying much, he steps in. He handles it quietly because love makes him feel responsible in ways words can't explain. When love runs deep, a man's world starts to shift. He begins to think differently, plan differently, and even dream differently. Every decision starts to carry a sense of purpose because now he's not just living for himself. He's thinking about her too. He becomes thoughtful about the way he speaks, the way he acts, and the way he makes her feel. He starts to question his own habits, asking himself, am I making her proud? Am I giving her peace? Am I treating her the way she deserves? Those questions don't come from insecurity. They come from love. Love humbles a man. It makes him reflect. It makes him want to be better, not because he feels he has to, but because she inspires him to be. But here's the thing. Sometimes that same love can make a man uncertain. He might not always know how to express what's going on inside him. Emotions don't come easy for most men. They've been taught to stay strong, to hide vulnerability, to handle everything without showing too much feeling. So when love starts to fill him up, it can get overwhelming. He might go quiet, not because he's detached, but because he's searching for the right way to show what's in his heart. He doesn't want to mess it up. He doesn't want to say the wrong thing. So he starts expressing his feelings in other ways, through his actions, through his consistency, through his loyalty. A man in love might not always say, I love you every day, but you'll feel it in the way he looks at you when he thinks you're not watching. You'll feel it when he checks if you got home safely, when he makes sure you eat, or when he worries about your future. That's his love language, protection, thoughtfulness, care. Love makes him attentive in quiet ways. It makes him want to be your strength when you're tired and your peace when you're stressed. But at the same time, it makes him doubt himself because he knows how rare what he feels is and he doesn't want to lose it. So when he hesitates, when he fumbles with his words, when he seems lost trying to say how he feels, understand this. His silence isn't coldness. It's the weight of love he's still learning to carry. His heart is full, his intentions are pure, and even when he struggles to express it, everything he does is proof that love has changed him from the inside out. A man's temporary distance can mean emotional growth, not rejection. When a man starts to fall deeply in love, there comes a moment when he steps back, not because he wants to leave, but because he's trying to catch his breath. Love can hit a man hard. It stirs emotions he's not used to feeling, emotions that make him question everything about himself, his past, his readiness, his ability to give what love requires. That step back is not him pulling away from the woman he cares about. It's him stepping into a quiet space where he can grow into the kind of man who deserves her. His silence, his slower responses, his moments of distance, they're all part of a personal conversation he's having with himself. He's asking, am I enough? Can I handle this love? Can I give her the security she needs? When a man truly loves, he doesn't take it lightly. He knows that love is not a game, it's a commitment. And that commitment requires him to look in the mirror and face his flaws, his fears, his weaknesses. Sometimes that's uncomfortable, so he steps back not to walk away, but to work things out in his own mind. He needs space to process, to plan, and to prepare himself to love better. That's the emotional growth that most women don't see because it